June 13th. At MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, two worlds collide. Brazil, five-time World Cup champions, the most decorated nation in the history of this tournament, a squad that hasn't lifted this trophy in 24 years and is desperate to end that wait. Morocco, the team that 3 years ago beat Brazil for the very first time, the team that became the first African nation in history to reach a World Cup semi-final, the team an entire continent is watching. This is not just a football match, this is a collision between two worlds. To understand what really means, you have to go back to 2022, the World Cup in Qatar. Morocco arrived ranked 22nd in the world. Nobody gave them serious odds. What they did next, nobody had seen in 92 years of World Cup history. They beat Belgium ranked second in the world. The Arab world erupted. Fans poured into the streets of Casablanca, Brussels, Amsterdam, Paris. They beat Spain in the round of 16 on penalties after a tremendous game from both teams. Won against Portugal in the quarter-finals. 1 goal. Morocco won again. Semi-finals reached history made. But the image that travelled furthest that night wasn't a goal. It was a defender named Achraf Hakimi, raised in a working-class neighbourhood of Madrid, son of a mother who emigrated from Morocco and cleaned houses so her child could chase a dream, running off the pitch at the final whistle and straight into the stands, straight to her. 65,000 people around them, history being made, and all he wanted was his mother. That image reached people who had never watched a single football match. Because it wasn't about football, it was about sacrifice, about family, about what it means to carry a whole nation on your back. Morocco lost to France in the semi-finals, but they had already proved something that couldn't be unproved. Now here is the piece of this story most people don't know, and it matters for tonight. In March 2023, Morocco hosted Brazil in a friendly in Tangier, 65,000 fans. And Morocco beat Brazil 2-1, their first ever win against the five-time world champions. Brazil are not going to forget that. Morocco aren't going to let them. Now it's the World Cup. The stakes are completely different, but the psychological edge belongs to one side, and it isn't Brazil. Brazil come in carrying 24 years of hunger. Their squad is stacked. Vinicius Jr, one of the most electric attackers in the world. Raphinha, a potentially returning Neymar, 34 years old, playing in what is almost certainly his last World Cup. 19-year-old Endrick, the teenage phenomenon. Brazil's past and their future, in the same squad, on the same pitch. They are managed by Carlo Ancelotti, the most decorated club coach in football history, brought in specifically to bring this trophy home. Morocco come in with something different. Not the weight of expectation, the momentum of a nation that proved something impossible and hasn't stopped believing. Their new coach led Morocco's under-20 team to a World Cup title in 2025, beating Argentina in the final. This is not a program that stumbles into tournaments anymore. This is a program that wins them. Tonight, 82,000 people inside the stadium, hundreds of millions watching across the globe. For Brazil, a statement match. Win here, and the World Cup begins on their terms. For Morocco, a chance to say it again louder than 2022 on American soil against the greatest footballing nation on earth. A win wouldn't just be a result, it would be an announcement. And for the billion people across Africa and the Arab world watching, this match carries something statistics don't measure. Morocco don't just play for themselves, they play for every team that's ever been written off before the tournament began. They play for the idea that where you come from doesn't decide where you can go. Brazil vs Morocco, June 13th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, MetLife Stadium. Now you know the story, watch it. Subscribe to Pitch Zero. We'll break down every moment of this World Cup for every first-time fan who's just discovering the most beautiful game on earth.